So, hello everybody. This is Denek from Learn English with Football, and I'm supposed to be doing the show, which normally takes place every Monday at 7 p.m. Is it? No, sorry, 8 p.m. Central European Time. But some of you may have noticed that there was an outage. Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, because I believe they all have the same owner. Basically, they went down completely, was shut down, and that's why I couldn't do the show because I was trying to send the invite link to my mates, one of which is Nrup. Hi, Nrup.
Yo, I'm
Good
back.
to have you here.
Yeah.
I was trying to make this work yesterday, but you may have noticed that it was a disaster of networking issues with these apps. So I couldn't actually get the hang of my mates. So I did record something yesterday, but it was like me rambling and moaning about the situation rather than really telling you anything about football, which is something that most of you are watching this for. Nrup, how are you today?
Today I'm actually really tired. I had a long day at the university and there's no sun today, so I'm feeling really dreary and weak, dull. Yeah, but it's okay.
Thanks
I've
for
been
coming on anyway. And also,
no,
this is a
no
bit
worries.
dodgy because your connection is not ideal either today, is it?
Yes, it is. It is not ideal. I've shifted to a new room and
Mhm.
things are a bit shaky over here.
Yeah. To be honest, my own situation isn't perfect because my computer is broken right now. So I'm using my mobile phone and it's also a bit dodgy. Or-
Wow.
A lot of things could go wrong this week. So I hope our viewers forgive us and give us another chance next week because that's when everything should be fixed and working as it was before. So let's get right into it, Nook. Did you watch any Premier League matches this weekend?
Yes, I did. I watched Arsenal versus Brighton complete game.
Okay, so how would you evaluate that game using just one word?
One word.
You
Well,
only have one word.
one word I would say would be uh, weak.
Mm. I would go further than that. I'd say it
Poor.
was boredom. Yeah, boredom. I
Boredom.
was
Yeah.
bored with both teams, to be honest. So, as you would expect, the game ended in a nil-nil draw. Oh, by the way, what's a draw, Nook? Draw, another way for draw,
Would be a tie,
a tie. Yeah,
or
that's correct.
what can it be?
I think that's it. Yeah, a
That's
tie,
it.
a draw, uh, goalless draw. In this case, it's what we call a goalless draw. I'm not gonna type anything in the comments today. You guys, if you want, you can obviously get involved, asking us questions. I can put the comments on, but it's a bit harder for me to comment. I mean, if Noop wants to do it, he can. Um, because I'm using the phone, so it's really annoying for me to have to do it like that. A goalless draw. It's a it's a draw where no goals are scored. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
What
most
the word
boring result in football, isn't it?
it is. The thing was the word that I was using was stalemate.
Aha. But stalemate, well, stalemate, it's more like I would use that for a situation in a match, during a match, not necessarily for the whole result. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, if
Yeah.
both teams decide to defend and there is no progression made on either of the sides, so I would just say it's a stalemate. Or let's say you've got some kind of elections, and each um, I'm just adding Marvin to the stream. Yeah. Hi, Marvin.
Yeah.
Hello, fellas. Let's get it
How are you
done.
doing?
Yeah, just a stalemate between you guys at the moment, like a game of
Yeah.
chess.
Yeah.
I
Because
see what
there
you
were
did
no
there.
goals, no targets. So I was thinking like maybe stalemate is a new word for football.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think it's good.
That's
It's
a
a
good
good way
word.
to. Yeah, I like it. Were you talking about the Arsenal game?
Yeah.
Are you assuming that we are talking about Arsenal because we use the word stalemate? I
I
think,
was.
to be honest, I would use much worse words for that.
No, no, I was honestly trying to remember what the score was of your game. I remember it was a couple of days, right? I guess I forget, it's gone really fast. But I was trying to think of what was that game a draw, and then I remember, 0-0. But
Yeah.
Brighton, good team. They're a very
A
good
late
team.
Saturday. It was a late Saturday game, and
Yeah,
it was a goalless draw. And it's sometimes you have goalless draws, but the match is actually exciting and there's
yeah.
stuff going on and
Most. Oh, sorry.
shots and things, but not this game.
Yeah, I saw the XG was quite low, wasn't it? For Arsenal, and only like 1 point something for Brighton. So I mean, I didn't actually see the game; I only saw the highlights. But Brighton's a good team at the moment, so there's nothing to really be ashamed of with a result like that. I think that they
Yeah.
played fairly well, from what I saw anyway.
The problem, Marvin, is the contrast between our performance during the London derby, which was the week before. So after that, obviously, the Arsenal fans had this positive energy again, and yet
Sure.
again they let us down. Yeah, because to be honest, the first half was atrocious. Not that Brighton had like too many chances or anything, but they were the better team, I thought. What did you think
Just.
of this, Nrup, of this game?
Definitely, I would agree that Brighton were a better team, but the thing was, Brighton's defense wasn't that good enough because Arsenal looked more sharper than Brighton because they had, I think, two woodworks and one quite close opportunity by Emil Smith Rowe. But yeah, definitely Brighton were much more into attacking base and possession and dominance. But yeah, definitely I would say Brighton overall a better team, but not as sharp as Arsenal.
You think so? Well, I would actually say that Brighton were the better team, but maybe I'm just a little bit too critical, a little bit too hard on Arsenal these days. I don't
The
know.
thing
I
is,
just
people don't understand the beauty of defensive football. You can see teams like Atletico Madrid and Inter Milan that have given them league titles, and they have had amazing progress. I know what you mean by defensive football.
I'm not a big fan myself. It's like the cat. What do you call it? Catenaccio in Italian.
Catenaccio.
In
Yeah,
Italian, yeah.
Would you consider? I mean, I'm interested in Nrup. If you don't mind me kind of interjecting on the point you made. I totally get what you're saying with Atletico, but I'm interested in why you mentioned Inter in the previous season. They scored a lot of goals.
I did, but then when you look at their goal defenses, and the thing was, they never really had massive goal matches. They usually ended up in 1-0, 2-0 because of the way how Antonio Conte played. And yes, they had a couple of games where ended up 5-6. But if you look at their clean sheets and their defenses, I think you had amazing defense players like Milan Skriniar, and you have the goalkeeper, and they were quite good in my opinion.
Okay,
I
well, I think
remember.
as a guy that's a massive Conte fanatic like myself, I think that there is obviously a great defense set up from the 3-5-2, but I think it's very deceptive to think that that's a defensive formation.
No,
Um,
definitely it's not a defensive. It's more of an attacking. But still, I would say the way they have handled the defense, I don't think they were a team that would concede a lot of goals. You never saw Inter Milan uh, ending up losing 3-0, 4-0, or something. So I think
yeah,
when
they
you look at Arsenal, yeah, conceding less, and when you look at it, Brighton, an attacking team, you end up having a clean sheet against Brighton. That itself is an achievement for a team like Arsenal in current condition.
I'm
Yeah, I think I don't know if you don't. I mean, with Arsenal, what you guys are expecting from the season? Because, like, I mean, if I was actually an Arsenal fan right now, like, see, because it's the same that I felt like with Chelsea when we went into the season after the season where we come 10th, and I think was dreadful. My hope was just that we could get back to top four, and I hate top four as success. For me, I hate the people that think that.
yeah.
But at that time, that would have counted as progression. So that was what I was willing to take, and we ended up winning the league. But I was wondering about Arsenal, what you guys are actually, your expectations are, considering you came like eighth or ninth last season, and now I think you'll probably do the same again. But like there are young players, they're exciting young players, like Smith Rowe, I think he's pretty decent. Then you've got Sambi Lukonga, I think he's quite a good player. What are the expectations? If I was a fan of Arsenal, I would want to get some wins against rivals, finish higher position than I did in the previous season, and see the football to be a bit better. If that were me in the position, what is it for you guys?
Well, there's a wing of Arsenal fans that actually say that the kind of attitude Nrup has right now. Yeah, he's a friendly guy. He's always positive. I know him in real life. Yeah.
Okay.
But just putting a positive spin on things all the time. This is what these people, this Arsenal, this wing of fans would actually consider what's called that we have learned to accept mediocrity. So mediocrity is like a state of averageness, like state of being average, right? You're average, and we used to be something. We used to be a club that would at least get to top 4, if not win the FA Cup or compete for the title. And now we are talking about a draw with Brighton, a goalless draw against Brighton as a success. That's it. That's what this wing of fans would mark as mediocrity. And it actually bothers me. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. This is not good enough. If you ask me, this is not good enough, especially after the North London derby performance, which I thought was great. Give the credit when the credit is due, and I thought we did a fantastic job there. And you could see that as those players, Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, and Lukonga, they all did such a great job. And now, nothing again. Aubameyang out of form. The only positive I would say these days is the goalkeeper. Even this new defender, this Tomiyasu, this Japanese, as a new Japanese signing. I thought he was underperforming in that match because this guy, what was his name? Cucurella.
Cucurella. Yeah, he's a good player.
Cucurella. That was such a cool name. I thought Cucurella. I would like.
No, he's definitely amazing in La Liga. He's actually from Barcelona's La Masia academy. So Barcelona really wanted him, but unfortunately because of Jordi Alba, he ended up in a different team. But yeah,
to finish my point, this Cucurella was giving a really hard time to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu couldn't handle him yet. So this is Brighton we are talking about. They have started off really well, like they have a good team. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from them, but I still think we should be doing better against the likes of these teams. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to Chelsea because we have got Marvin here, so we might as well take this opportunity to ask him about Chelsea. I actually watched the Chelsea match.
Yes.
It was the first match of the weekend, so I chose to watch it. And well, you won 3-1. So how do you see this win?
Well, I'm very happy. It's funny you were mentioning about how Arsenal fans are really positive, because I think that's actually something quite nice that Alicia's got that going. We have like negativity for everything in the Chelsea fan base. Like we lost 2 games in a row, and that was a crisis.
Marvin, we are talking about Nrup here, and a little fraction of football fans in Arsenal. I think the mass majority are actually now Arteta out. But yeah. Okay. Maybe in Chelsea the expectations are even higher, I would say, because
they're through the roof due to the problem normally is that the expectations are so high after we achieve some level of success, and then the coach doesn't get backed after they win, because they seem to believe that whatever they have is going to repeat, but sometimes it's not the case. And I think the same's happened again here, but I'm not sure that we will win the league or anything. But talking about that game, I was very happy with the performance at Southampton. I was not happy with the most recent performances. We were poor against City. We were poor against Juventus. We were poor against Zenit. And we hadn't been playing well for a good couple of games. This game, I think we were fantastic. But I'm not sure if it happens. You guys feel like it happens with Arsenal as well. But we get constantly a bad deal in the officiating every game. It is almost every game. That first goal, think about it, and if you think about it logically or like as a neutral fan, how often do you see goals pulled back from that far away? I don't recall ever seeing that unless it's either someone against Man United or Liverpool.
I can't remember what happened exactly, but I know you had 2 goals chalked off.
First
2
one was
goals
offside.
disallowed, so
First one was offside, but the second one was like 20 seconds after the apparent foul had happened, whereas Piliqueta tripped Walker Peters. Now, Walker Peters did not complain at all, even after the goal was scored. He did not. He just tried to get back up.
which is usually a sign. Which is usually
Yeah.
a sign that when the opposition players are protesting, that's usually a
Absolutely.
sign that something had gone wrong, right?
Sure, but thankfully in the second half it almost went wrong, but we were able to turn it around. Then we got a nice decision our way for a pretty shocking challenge. And then we managed to win, and I was really happy with the way the team had performed. In particular, Timo Werner. I don't know what you guys as Arsenal fans think about Timo Werner, but in our online fan base, a lot of people are like criticize him quite a bit. But for me, I think the team is much better when he plays because he's able to run in behind. And as when I used to play myself, the thing I would hate to defend were in behind runners. And when you're that quick and you've got that much of an explosive ability to get in behind, I think he makes the team better. In that case, we're also blessed with superior squad depth. It's something we haven't had in the last 5-6 years. But the fact we can even bring on, I don't really rate the player, but Ross Barkley came on, created the goal. And even he would probably be able to play for a top 5-6 team. And yet he's just on the fringes in our team. So the game was definitely won by a nice kind of squad, in my opinion, in this game. But the fact we won 3-1, I'm very happy with that. And we're top of the league now, so I really hope we can win. It's going to be tough because Liverpool and City are very strong teams as well. But I would hope that our squad will be enough to give us a chance of winning the league this year. I really hope so.
Well, let's be honest, like looking at the form that Manchester United have, it looks like it might be between you, Manchester City, and Liverpool. I don't know, Manchester United. I'm not sure about them right now, honestly. But we will get to their match later. Is there anything you would? Have you seen the match? Did you see the Chelsea match, or did you see the highlights at least, Nrup?
Me, no, I haven't, but I've been reading tweets about it. But the thing is, I wanted to ask Marv a question. What do you think of Christian Pulisic? Do you think he deserves to be a starter in the team? The thing is, ever since Werner and those big signings arrived, he has never been the main person of the Chelsea. Because I still think he could be the representative of Chelsea.
Good point. Good question. You're asking a guy that I mean, if you were to ask me my top 3 favorite players, he's number 1 or 2, interchanging with Rudiger. So the problem with him is the injuries. He's injured too often, so he can't be relied upon too much at this point. But for me, he would start every game because he's the one player that can isolate space. He's the one player that can take on his man and win. He's the only one in the team that can do it. Loftus-Cheek as well, but a bit deeper. No, for me, Pulisic could be the face of the club. I believe and I think he's been fantastic for us every time he plays. He's good, in my opinion. He's pretty instrumental every time we do well. When he's back, I'm sure he'll be straight back in the team. I rate him over the likes of Kai Havertz, definitely over Hudson-Odoi. And I mean, and then you're kind of tossing up between Werner, and I would go for Werner, Pulisic, and Lukaku. But again, Mount plays there as well. But for me, Pulisic is one of the best players in the team. Yeah. And up to me, he would always play.
Marvin said
the same as well.
Pulisic can take on a player. I like that phrase. To take on a player. That's actually to take someone on. That's actually a phrasal verb. And phrasal verbs have a lot of meanings, specifically this one, to take something on, to take on. It has a lot of meanings. But in football specifically, it means that you are able to get past a player one-on-one. Yeah. So there's a player in front of you and you do something, I don't know, you nutmeg that player, or you dribble past that player, or you just run past that player. In any way you push him legally. In any way you get past him, that means you are able to take on that player, right? So not everyone is capable of that. And Marvin's point is that Pulisic is one of those players that can do that. Who do you think in Arsenal team, Nrup, is capable of taking on the opposition player?
I would go for Emil Smith Rowe right now. He's been balling around. He's a good dribbler and very smooth. Yeah, I used to think it was Pepe, but nah, I think Saka and um, Emil Smith Rowe has been quite good. I would say even Laka has been really good with ball.
Hmm. Ahmed is saying that Pepe
Mm.
do that. But going back to going back to Chelsea, you mentioned Timo Werner, yeah, that he has been playing really well as of late, and he scored the winning goal, didn't he?
Werner scored a second goal, so yeah, I mean
So it
Chilwell
was the
scored
winning goal.
the winning goal.
Yeah,
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 and
I remember it. That was a cross from the right, and then it was like a tapping. It was kind of a tapping, wasn't it?
yeah, it was Barkley's ball over in behind the line. Aspilicueta across goal. Werner pops up behind the defender, knocks it in.
Oh, that was one thing that he was often, um, you know, he was criticized for. That was the fact that he was always fast and a good player and good vision and all that, but he never really scored that many goals. So it
Sure.
looks like maybe that's it for him now. You know, he might start scoring goals. He looks all right now, in a good form.
But I would say the match of the weekend would be Manchester City versus Liverpool. Everyone has been talking about it. Everyone.
Can we talk about the Manchester United game first, because that the City game was on Sunday, yeah. So let's
Yeah.
talk about. But you're right, that's gonna be the game to talk about for sure. But did I see this game? I don't think I did, but I saw the highlights. Manchester United Everton 1-1. I did see this game a little bit, I think. I saw some bits from this game. I can't remember exactly. But that was a game in which Manchester United went 1-0 up. And then, by the way, Ronaldo didn't start that game, which was a massive surprise to everyone. Obviously, you can imagine how Ronaldo was feeling, because he's a born winner, and there was something that happened at the end of the game as a result of this as well. But Ronaldo didn't start. And well, he came on. Was it in the second? I think he came on in the second half, didn't he? But anyway, Everton managed to equalize with a fantastic counter attack, and something funny happened during that game. I think Townsend was the player that scored the goal, and he went to celebrate after his goal in the way that Ronaldo usually celebrates. He was kind of mimicking or parroting what he does. You know, it's his celebration. I don't know if I can show it here on the phone. But and also Ronaldo, he shouts "see you" when he does that, yeah. And he did something like that, and now everybody started speculating whether this was disrespectful to Ronaldo. Why was he even doing that? And then in the post-match interview, apparently he said that was out of respect. So did you hear about this, guys?
I saw it.
Yes, I did. He even got the
So
jersey
how do you feel
from
about it?
Ronaldo.
How do you feel about it, Nrup?
Me, well, I think it's 50% shithousery, 50%. I don't know. Like from outside, it looks like shithousery, but then maybe I don't know. Townsend, he got overly motivated, and then he was like, "Okay, Ronaldo's here. Let me just show who's the Ronaldo of Crystal Palace." Sorry, Everton. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
good for
but
him.
I think it was a bit weird because Ronaldo wasn't even playing in that game, so it felt like he was mocking him, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Marv?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Dross Townsend, as I always used to like to call him, because he's not a very good player. I think that actually, I don't think he was disrespecting Ronaldo, because judging on the previous stuff that he's always said, I consider him to be the biggest closet Man United fan you could ever find. There was a video like a year ago when he played for Crystal Palace where Zaha was completely like killing Ashley Young with some skills on the wing, and he actually retweeted that saying you should be praising the player for recovering and stuff like this. And I was thinking, you can't say that. You play for this team, not for the other team. For me, I've never really liked Tandos Townsend, and I actually think he probably was and always has been a Man United fan. So I don't imagine he was trying to mock Ronaldo in any kind of way. That being said, when you create that kind of celebration, you've got to be willing to take that. You know, when you're one of the best players, that's going to happen. You're going to get people trying to mock you. You're going to get people. I mean, when you do that and you're like, boom, and you rip off your shirt to show all your muscles, eventually that's going to come back. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, but a good result for Everton.
And for the world.
Rafa Benitez, he knows what he's doing. You know, he's such an experienced manager. He won the Champions League with Liverpool, so
yeah,
good
coach.
Absolutely, good result for Everton, and this is the second back-to-back home draw for Manchester United as well. So I don't think they are in a good form right now. And imagine if they didn't have Ronaldo. Like almost all the goals that they scored recently were from Ronaldo, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the problem when you don't plan who you buy and you just throw money at the problem, which is what that club has done for the last 6-7 years. They bought, for example, they spent 80 million on Sancho, and they could have found 100 players better than him, in my opinion. They bought him, and he's more of a left-sided inverted wide player, yet they play with proper wings. So I have no idea why they signed a guy who's not that good at one-on-one and needs a lot more space than he gets in the Premier League. And not only that, they've got 3 left-sided attackers. They got Rashford, Martial, and Sancho. They all want that position. And now you've got Ronaldo, who also prefers playing on the left. So you've got 4 players that want that position. And on the right side, all they have is Mason Greenwood, a vastly overhyped passport player as well. So I think they've got problems. They've spent, considering the money that they have actually spent over the last 4 years, and this is fully spent, not net spend, because teams like City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham all do sell players, whereas Man United barely sell players for big profits. And they've spent over $1 billion for like 8-9 years, something like that. They've got a squad that's worth about $1 billion. And I believe personally they should be doing way better than what they are. And I don't think you can blame it all on the coach either. They have a system that he likes, sure, but it would be up to the club to supplement that system with the proper players. I think they would have been much better with someone like San Maximin, or they might have been better with someone like Zaha, or someone like that who's good at isolating their player. If they play with wings, they want to get in behind and get the ball across goal. But only Greenwood does it fairly okay. Rashford is a missing machine. They've really got problems, and I think it's their own fault. They've overpaid players like Rafael Varane, who's seen his best days past him. They still pay Pogba like nearly 400k a week. He's a good player. He's a very good player.
Yeah, he's an amazing player.
And for me, Pogba is one of the best midfielders
in
the world.
I rate him very highly. Yeah,
me too.
But then Ronaldo, you could argue, is it a good buy? Like it's like they bought a legend. Yeah, it almost feels like they bought him because they would make a lot of money because of the shirts, and the fans were excited about it. But he's 36 years of age, so I don't know. Like, is this a clever signing? I don't know.
Well, I would like to add that they don't make the money from their shirt sales. The shirt sales go straight to the kit supplier. There's a myth about that. They've got a huge deal with Adidas that they give them, like, I think it's like 60 million a year or something like that, and that's supplemented by the sales of the shirt. So it's only once you reach that quota that then they start making money.
Okay, so but obviously they must make some money because of marketing, and
of course.
It made people want to watch United immediately. Just everybody wanted to watch United because of Ronaldo. Just like everybody suddenly started watching PSG because of Messi.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a good move in terms of marketing for sure.
I think I don't think they can lose from this deal in that sense, because the worst it will be is 2 years of him at his final level, and he will just stop. The only thing they really will lose is the wages and the 25 million. But I think for them it's not a big loss. I think the biggest loss for them is overpaying players that don't perform, and I think they've got that across their whole 11.
You know, for me, what could be the biggest loss? I don't know. It's just a speculation. Yeah. So it's possible that because of Ronaldo, because of the status he has in that club, and because how everybody looks up to him, and it comes down to Bruno Fernandes. I'm sure he's gonna let go of the penalties at some point. Sure. And it's just they revere him so much. Is this healthy for those players? Yeah, like all those players that want to achieve things and improve, is this actually helping them? Because Ronaldo is going to take all the spotlight. He's going to be the one scoring the goals. He's going to be the one that is going to be passed to the ball the most. Like everybody will be passing to him. You know what I mean? Like there
Yeah.
could be this argument made. I think.
Well,
Where do you
this
stand
is,
on this? Uh, Sorry.
I was going to let Narup come in. I was just saying
Yeah,
that
exactly. Me
yeah,
too.
Yeah, honestly, I think that Ronaldo has been a great player for any team. You put him in any team, the morale, the boost, all the elements of that team just goes really high. The team plays as a team and not as an individual. So, if you look at Juventus, it was never Ronaldo's Juventus. It was Juventus as a team. Lots of players were highlighted. If you look at it, same goes for Real Madrid. And now you can look how Juventus is just basically two, three star player team. Same goes for Real Madrid. So yeah, I think Ronaldo has been a great signing for United. 100 million? I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, for United, 100 million is pretty much as good as 0 million. So yeah, I think you can say Ronaldo has been a phenomenal signing for United. And regarding other players, yes, if United sells those players, then yeah, I think United is in a perfect position. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I just put it out there. I'm not saying this is necessarily true. I'm just saying like this could be something that might happen. But at the same time, obviously, you can learn from a player like that. He's a legend. He's respected. He's gonna show everyone how it's done in the training. Uh, the first day in the office, when he was in the canteen, he told his teammates they shouldn't eat that kind of food, right? So he's the one known for a healthy diet and for following all these dietary, um, you know, regulations and all that. Yeah. Okay. Well, there was another game that I watched this weekend. West Ham United Brentford. That was an interesting one as well. That was what we call in football a game of two halves. Yeah. It's a cliche, but a game of two halves is when um, one half one team is good and the second half the other team is good. In a nutshell, right? A game of all the two halves are completely different, basically. And in this game, Brentford, who have recently clinched a draw against Liverpool, right? They have also beaten Arsenal before. We have talked about this. Who are doing really well. Started off really well as a newly promoted team. Amazing, yeah, right? And again, they got 3 points um, away win at the London Stadium against West Ham, who have been playing pretty well, I think, even in the Europa League. And first half, West Ham was the worst performance I had seen for a long time. Terrible, terrible. They were slower everywhere. It looked like you know how tactically they are so good. Obviously, Brentford because they have this manager. What's his name? Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank.
Frank, yeah.
Frank, yeah. And his hair, like he's like Nrup. He's got a lot of hair. This guy, and he's known for like following the tactics. What is it like? He uses the most modern methods of statistics, the data, all the data, analyzing the data, and all that. And it looked like he knew how to play against West Ham. He played the team. You know, if you can play your own system when you are a manager, you can play your own system, and then everybody has to adopt to how you play, or you can play the team you're playing. And I think Brentford are excellent at this. They know what to do exactly, and that's what it looked like. In the second half, West Ham were the better team. I thought they managed to equalize, but then they scored. They conceded a goal in literally the final kick of the game. Did you guys see this game? Did you at least see the highlights?
no, I
Yeah,
haven't. But yeah, I was looking at the commentary, and wow, like Brentford, I'm not really surprised with the way they have been playing because Arsenal were the first team that they faced, and the way how they played, fluid, quite good, quite promising, and yeah, watch out for them. I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I saw the highlights. The thing with Brentford have quite a good team. They employed something they call the money ball system, where they take chances on players that others don't necessarily believe they're going to be great. They've got, haven't once seen. Maybe. It's interesting. They've got some good players in there, like Ivan Toney.
Yep.
Very good at a lot of things, holding the ball up. He's good at getting his shots if he can score goals. He's a very solid player. And then they've got Mbembo, I don't know how to say his name, but Mbemba, something like that. Very quick, good at scoring. They have a nice little bit of team, I think. The problem they might have is at the back. I think like their defence could use a bit of work, and maybe their midfield isn't so good in that sense. Well, it's Chelsea's next opponent, so let's see.
Yeah, but it looks like the manager seems to be really good, right? But
Yeah.
it's even the way they played, like they even like played the referee, you know. So the referee was letting the free flow of the game. He wasn't really punishing the players with yellow cards too much. You know, he was he wasn't really blowing his whistle too much, and they saw that, or they knew that beforehand, possibly. And that's why they were quite physical as well. And West Ham were struggling with that, I'd say, despite the fact that they have such amazing players, some of them on very good form. One Czech player, Tomáš Souček, is actually out of form completely. That's but they keep playing him because he's a big guy, and he can be dangerous, and he's useful in both boxes. Yeah. Your own box, and the offensive box as well. So, anyway, so that's West Ham, and then slowly but surely we are getting to the match that I didn't see personally. I only saw the highlights. Apparently, it was an amazing match, especially the second half, and that's Liverpool City. So because I've talked quite a lot, I think this is up to you guys to tell me how you saw this match and what happened there. So who would like to start?
I can
take
go.
it? Yeah, go ahead.
With the way how I saw the game, Liverpool in the first half, I was actually surprised because the way they have been informed, the way how they used to fight back. This time, Man City legit outclassed them. Liverpool looked poor compared to how they were before. And it's a pity that Man City
I think we are struggling with Nrup's connection a little bit.
Yeah.
So I will let Marvin talk and maybe wait for
you have
Nrup's connection to get better. Are you back, Nrup?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I am back.
Okay. I think we didn't get anything for the past about 20 seconds. So would you like to
All
your
right,
point?
Yeah. So what I was saying was that in the first half, it's a shame that City did not get anything on target. This was their best opportunity. They could have been 3-0 up, in my opinion. And in the second half, Liverpool, they were on fire. They looked at the gaps that City had, and Salah and Mane did the job. But yet you had Foden and Kevin De Bruyne, who were amazing. And I would say Salah's goal, yes, definitely it was world class. But the way people have been hyping about him being the best player, comparing him or rating him over Messi and Ronaldo, I mean, not really. I don't know why. I think it's just English
I'm
fans
not
being English
surprised.
fans,
I'm
overrating
not
players,
surprised.
overhyping players. He'll go down. He'll go down because there's a quote saying
let's ask Marvin what he says. But personally, I understand why they're rating him so highly. I think he's a world-class player. What do you think, Marvin?
I have to kind of, I mean, and I should be biased because this was a Chelsea player that we fucking sold. But no, for me at the moment, Salah is unrivaled at the top of the game. And he is better than Messi and Ronaldo now. Like Messi and Ronaldo are not even in the top 5 anymore. And he might have scored a couple of goals for United, but they still haven't won many games, enough games. And that's
also about the overall contribution and just the way he runs. He's just tireless. Salah is just tireless. Like you don't want to play against him. He's dangerous. Honestly, he's pressing. it's just a brilliant player overall, you know.
He's fantastic, and it's not just the goals that he scores, because he's a very good goal scorer. He looks better now than ever, which is scary. I'm hoping that he'll go off to the African Cup and play the entire tournament. But no, I mean, for me, that season when they lost the Champions League final, I think he'd had, I think, one of the best seasons an individual has ever had.
Yeah.
And I think he's an unbelievably good player. I mean, sometimes a bit too selfish when he could involve Mane a little bit more, but I mean, at the moment, and I hate to say that because I don't really like Liverpool that much, but I think that he definitely currently has a stake for being the best player in the world currently.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when players play in France, they rule themselves out of that. So, I mean, there's no Neymar and Mbappe. And I think even they're not really
What
playing.
about Benzema?
Very good player, but where are Real Madrid right now? I mean, they lose to Espanyol at the weekend. I mean,
They did. I mean, but if you talk about best player in the world, I think if you look at the stats and the way there has been the team, Benzema has been amazing. Benzema has been Real Madrid's number one player ever since Ronaldo left. Benzema has been carrying them top two, took them to semifinals. I mean, I don't think Salah would ever do that after what happened to Real Madrid. After what happened to Real Madrid, I don't think so.
I think Salah would definitely have an equal, if not bigger, impact if he was playing in Madrid right now. I like Benzema. I have always rated. Sorry, go ahead, Zenek.
Sorry, no, I was.
I was just saying, I definitely rate Benzema.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, but I was gonna say that he's playing in the Premier League. You know, it's the toughest league in the world, in my opinion. And yes, there are some world-class players in, of course, Paris Saint-Germain, undeniably, in Real Madrid and so on. But for me, Premier League, it's just a level above everything else. It's just week in, week out, you've got a tough match where you have to prove yourself constantly, and you have to show that you have what it takes to be in the starting 11. And I think it's different, a little bit different. Of course, there's the Champions League as well. But I think Salah has been showing this consistency for a lot of time now in Liverpool, and they love him there. And the goal he scored in this particular match, like that was one of the most brilliant goals I have ever seen. Like that was a fantastic goal.
But still, I think people, the way how they are rating him now, I think he's definitely not better than Benzema in my opinion, as a player. Okay, I mean not as in terms of success and everything, because you talk about success like how Madrid lost against this, but if you talk about individual player now,
not for you.
Benzema has been more overall better, more impactful. I'm not telling Salah is bad, but no, definitely Salah is never at the moment. Benzema is the top player in the world in Europe football, at least.
Okay.
I don't even think Benzema would be above our players. I mean, he played okay against Chelsea in the Champions League. We run over them like a steam train. I don't think that the best player in the world right now or currently would struggle that much.
Yeah, but we're talking about right now, not.
We are talking about right now. Last season is like a few months before. It's almost the same as right now.
Yeah,
right
but
now they're worse than last season.
You guys are right now. You guys are not being Salah last year. Last year Salah wasn't even top 4.
But right now Salah is even better.
I'm talking about right now. You are right.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Benzema right now as well, and I think Benzema right now is the best player in the world.
But Madrid is worse right now than last season.
Well,
Madrid is
but
worse.
we're talking about player, not a team. If you talk about Messi as well, he has been the best player in the world. But has Barcelona been the best team in the world?
Messi hasn't been the best player in the world for about 4 years.
Come on.
No way.
Well, are you stat padding him?
Stat padding is a very good point. It's a very
good
point.
It's not the only point. Stat padding is not the only point.
It's a good point. That's what Messi has been doing in the last 2 years. I mean, where was he when they played Bayern? They lost 7-2. The best player in the world currently will impact games throughout that season. He did not do that last season, the season before, the season before.
Yeah, where was Salah in Aston too? Where was he? Sorry. Who loses to Aston Villa?
Liverpool won the Champions League and the league in the last 2 previous seasons.
Yeah, but you're talking about the game, right? So let's talk about the game as well. Best player in the world.
He scored 32 goals when they lost the Champions League final, and the only reason they lost, he went out injured. I don't even like Liverpool, but these are the facts of the game.
Now, I have to say,
don't
I'm
think
with
so.
Marvin on this one. Yeah, even
I know you
despite the
guys
fact
love
that
Premier League,
Nrup,
but then
you are an Arsenal fan, Nrup.
I
Yeah,
know,
so I should be
I'm an
siding
Arsenal
with
fan,
you.
but the thing is, you guys have to understand. Just because you guys love Premier League doesn't mean you have to support every player from Premier League. You guys have to accept.
Trust
You guys
me,
have
I'm
to
not doing
accept
that.
players like Messi, Ronaldo, and other players. Mbappe, Haaland. They are much better on much crazy levels.
Okay.
Lewandowski, even though Lewandowski plays in Bayern Munich, look at him.
No, Lewandowski is amazing. Yeah.
Lewandowski was the best player in the world the previous year. That was not what we were arguing against. He actually was the best player in the world, not
Yeah,
like
but then if you say like Premier League and Arsenal
No, that
fan, no, that's not the reason
for me,
to actually
for me,
rate
it's
someone.
part of that. But that's just me,
No,
because
no.
I
definitely.
can see it's tough. It's
I
tough to
don't
beat
think
teams
it's.
like Brentford and Brighton these days, and those are like
Yeah.
teams that
I don't
people
think
in
we
the
would.
world might not even know,
I don't
when
think
they
we
are.
were
Definitely.
devaluing. I don't think we were devaluing players in other leagues. For example, if you asked me the previous season when Bayern won the Champions League, I think Lewandowski was the best player in the world that season.
I agree.
My argument was that Messi has not been for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Because whilst players do stat pad and score a lot of goals, if the team isn't winning when a player is playing well, are they playing that great? And I always come back to that point because everything depends on the team's success. And if a player is so good, when I say so good, the best player, the absolute best player, then that best player would help that team win. They would not lose 7-2 to Bayern Munich.
That player would carry the team. Yeah, basically.
If they
Yeah,
needed
well,
to, yeah.
definitely. I agree. But then you look at Barcelona
no.
right now without the best player in the world. Look where they are right
Nope.
now. They're not even in Europa League.
Yeah, they're terrible now. Very terrible.
Yeah.
They're a lot
Yes.
worse without Messi, obviously. A lot
They're
worse.
terrible. So you can just see
They
how
lost against
what
Atletico Madrid, right?
everything.
And then
They lost everything.
Suarez scored a goal against
Oh, God.
his former club.
It's still good. Suarez is still very good.
Yeah, he stopped biting as well. That's
Yeah.
something. Stop
He's a
biting
great
players.
player.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
love
guys.
Suarez,
I think. Is there anything else you would like to add?
What's the
What
next?
was the word? I want to ask you guys. What was the word you kept using? Stat padding, or what was the word? Can you please type it in the comments? I'm not
Yeah.
sure I'm even aware of this word. And can you please type it, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen,
Yeah.
and we will explain this word,
Yeah.
and then we will wrap it up. Yeah. So can you, Marvin? Can you send it in because this is the private chat.
Okay, it won't let me comment in the show notes.
Okay. Stat padding. Can someone else
Ahmed,
write it down?
lot of
Stat,
questions.
as in stats. Yeah. Stat. STAT.
Yeah.
Padding. PADDING.
Yeah.
Stat padding. Okay.
Yeah.
So could you guys explain to us what that is? Stat padding. Does it mean, okay, I'm gonna have a guess, yeah? Because I understood it from context, but I don't know this word myself. But does it mean that you are sort of like just adding goals to your tally and playing just to get a lot of goals and assists to have assists?
Think of Lukaku. Unfortunately, that is a classic stat pattern.
Yeah.
How does the Premier League table look right now?
Chelsea top by 1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there are a lot of teams. It's actually pretty close. It's pretty close. That's exciting. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. It's better when one team doesn't just run away with it like Liverpool and City in the previous season.
Yeah. This is gonna be fun. Like even play teams like Brighton and Brentford are around.
14 points.
Anything could happen.
Fantastic. It's great.
Aston Villa, no, Aston Villa. Everton is up there. I think Everton
got 14 points. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We got a comment that says about that Haaland would dominate the Premier League. I totally agree with that comment.
Yeah.
Haaland was the player I wanted for Chelsea instead of Lukaku in the summer, and I think that's 13 years of potentially the next best player in the world. I think he's unbelievable.
He is something. Yeah. He's a
very good
player. Haaland is, and it's just wherever he goes, he's really going to shake things up, in my opinion, for that team.
Agree.
It's such a
Yeah,
massive
I hope
player.
so.
Yeah.
That's where Barcelona should be looking for their next player, I think.
I don't think they can afford him though.
I think they can. It's Barcelona. They'll find out. They'll somehow decrease the wages and kick out some players.
Like, yeah, well,
There's always a way. Barcelona can pay the player in installments. I think the president and the agent of Haaland has amazing relationship. So yeah,
okay, guys. I want to thank you for today's participation in the Learn
that was
English
amazing.
Football Show. I
I
really
really
enjoyed
enjoyed this
myself.
one.
I even learned some words here, like stat padding, which I have never heard before. So thank you very much for that. And I'm glad we made it work despite the difficulties that we had yesterday. So thanks for this. And yeah, take care, guys, and hope to see you soon again.
Thank you, guys.
See you, man.
Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. By the way, our viewers, thanks for being here. Bye-bye.